Hello everyone, hope everyone's doing well today. I would like to give you all a warm welcome to Student Voice Synapses. My name is Faraz Roslin and I'm the chairperson for Victorian University Students as Partners. And then along my side is my partner Alice Growden, the Deputy Chair and Coordinator of Students Partners. We would like to present our journey that Students Partners have created through the ongoing collaboration made between students and staff. So of course in our team is myself, chairperson, I'm international students, and Alice Growden, deputy chair coordinator, and she's a domestic student, and Leon Kerr as well, who's in this group, and he is the director of student services as well. So before we start, I would like to acknowledge that today we are joining together from the lands of many traditional owners. Normally, we would be gathered together on the lands of Bunwurrung and Woiwurrung of the Kulin Nation, who are the traditional owners of our university land in Victoria University, Melbourne campuses. I'd like to acknowledge that the ancestors, elders, and families of all the lands we join today, and as we share our own knowledge practices within the university and our university and everywhere in Australia, may we pay respect to the deep knowledge embedded within the Aboriginal community and their ownership to the country. As we gather for this virtual event today, I would like to also acknowledge the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who may be with us, as that everyone here today takes a moment out of the day to reflect on the meaning of place in your places today, to recognize and respect the many traditional lands on which we meet. So today, our agenda will be discussing the following. Firstly, we'll explain further what the Students Partner Initiative is and how important and influential to the future of Victoria University as a whole. Our second agenda item is introducing our student staff members, those who have been involved in 2020 and 2021 and have put in great efforts in the initiative. Our third agenda will be discussing our experience in transitioning online as well through network meeting, roundtable events, and everything like that. And of course, Victoria is under lockdown at the moment, so we definitely still be going on that until we will be on campus. That's a bit of that kind of how do we transition online due to the COVID restrictions. And finally, we'll be showing off our achievements of what we have done throughout 2020 and 2021. Pretty excited about that slide. So now I'll pass that on to my co-chair and coordinator, Alice Growden, who will be covering the first agenda. Thank you, Alice.
Great, thanks Faraz. So I'll start off with a bit of background of Students as Partners, and I'm sure you've all been across it before, as this is the Student Voice Project and it's one of the major themes. So first of all, it's by definition, a space for students and staff, academic or professional, to work together on teaching, learning, curriculum and governance. And as a way of thinking, Students as Partners shifts the educational paradigm of learning and teaching from something staff would deliver to students to education as a shared endeavour and a collaborative environment which achieves a beneficial outcome for both the students and staff. Increasingly adopted around the globe, Students as Partners has led to the transformation of practices and an array of positive outcomes for both our students and staff, and we have evidently done that at VU. So it is a student-led initiative, and I coordinate the program. I organise all the different network meetings and annual roundtables, and it's all pretty much student-driven and student-run, and we just get the support of provosts of our students and our director of student services. So they just support us and they're really good at doing that. So yeah, it's student members themselves. They're elected based on, first of all, their key involvement, leadership, volunteering, and work within the VU community. So we kind of hear about students who are involved in certain aspects and different programs around the community, and I reach out to them and say, hey, we have this great program, would you like to be involved? And I get a yes or no answer. We also have an expression of interest form which students can apply their interest directly through our website, so we can filter through applications that way as well. And like I said, all our students come from different areas of the university. We have such a great diverse range, and we are a dual sector, which means we have an undergraduate and a polytechnic TAFE institution. So we have students from our TAFE division, our colleges, our undergraduate division. We have international students, VCE students. We have all sorts of students from an array of different areas. So it gives us a really nice approach to our meetings, and it gives us great feedback, and it's very diverse, and it comes from all sorts of parts, which is awesome. Next slide. Okay, so we have 8 principals with students as partners, and that is listed on all of our terms of references and on our website. So I'll just go through these quickly. So first of all, embedded practice in and out of the academic classroom. So we want to be authentic within our partnerships, and our students are not necessarily isolated to certain projects. They have an array of different things to choose from. I'm constantly sending out emails about different programs and different departments which have things on offer, which want students to contribute to the either the making, the contribution, the creation of such program. And next, we remunerate our students. So we give gift cards, $30 per attendance of a session. And we do this so we really acknowledge what contributions and feedback they've provided. And also where applicable, we'll try and pop all of their credibility on, certain documents which have been contributed by the feedback, and the outcome was we'd pop their name on the website and certain documents and things like that, so we can acknowledge their contributions. Thirdly, community practice. So all of these are done in a community approach. We're in a very safe environment in our meetings. All students are open to listening to people's opinions, and we don't judge. And that's something that's pretty standard in all our meetings. So it's a really nice environment, and all our staff are there listening, and they are very respectful of whatever truthful, honest, and brutal opinions students may have in certain aspects. Fourth, our holistic approach to partnerships. So the concept of partnership is obviously very broad. It encompasses multiple levels of knowledge with the goal of that all contributions are valued to and critical to success. We co-create at VU, so the most valuable outcomes are derived from working together with our students and staff, and that's what creates the future. And I recently was involved in planning a strategic planning meeting with our Vice Chancellor, who asked for all the students as partners members to attend and give feedback about what the next 7 years should look like at VU and how we can achieve that together. The sixth principle is accessible to the VU population. So we are open and transparent, and we have expression of interest open to anyone to engage themselves with us. We also encourage people from diverse backgrounds. We have lots of Indigenous students, international students, TAFE students as well. So it's a really nice diverse group. We value successful partnerships. So partnerships are a key component for success. It's named and noted as a value goal for all our initiatives. Empowering agency and successful outcomes for students. So this is the soul and spirit of the VU Way and the foundation for the creation of students as partners. So we use all these principles and adapt them at all our meetings, and we make sure that we constantly review them and add more where necessary as the years go on. Over to you, Faraz.
Thank you, Alice. Sorry. All right, perfect. So yes, as Alice perfectly said, students partners have reached members from diverse backgrounds, and that's something that we actually pride ourselves in. We want that knowledge and we want that contribution, and we have reached out to all executive members from clubs, societies, TAFE, VC students, tertiary students, masters, PhD, bachelors, everywhere. Wherever they're from, domestic background or international, we want them in our group of space. This allows us to gain a different perspective to cover all possible grounds. Every student, especially international student or VC or everyone, has a different kind of perspective of how does it apply to their own life. So we have invited staff members from different areas as well. So this is again about the diversity to provide their personal input and their knowledge of what is in the best interest of the university. With the opinions and thoughts gathered, then we reach in a middle ground to what is best for the Victoria University community. So as you can see here, we have students and staff members from different backgrounds. The idea is to have student leaders from different club societies and whatnot. So these student leaders are voicing every leader. So our student leaders will be approached of like the, for example, law campus, the law president, the student society president will voice about a law student perspective. And then the idea is to have that kind of singular voice that could represent a specific group. And even one of the example as well is the VU International Student Association. We have different staff members expand the idea into a reality by implementing their views of what is best for Victoria University. These members could come from different areas such as VU Employ, VU Sports, Learning Hub. We have Daniel Brovolin there, who's a staff member and manager of the Learning Hub, and the vice president of future students and marketing as well. So we have a kind of broad view of like who is involved in everywhere, and then have that kind of consolidated group discussion right there. All right, so due to the impacts of COVID-19, of course, we have been successful in diverting into network meetings, and today's event on an online platform via Zoom. So the agenda of our network meeting have created an exciting vibe within the group and formed a network opportunities between our staff and our students as well. Our network meetings created a starting point for our students and staff to get to know each other and discuss issues like planetary health, student services and advocacy, the renaming of VUHQ, and the impacts of coronavirus on digital teaching and learning. We also use numerous of websites such as Padlet and Answer Garden, so we can actually show transparency and clarity over the online process for our members to work together, continue the collaboration, even though there's restrictions in place. So when instead of coming on campus and having that restriction that we cannot be face to face, there is also that transparency that we're providing as well. So transferring online our meetings to online has been successful in many ways. One of the way is being how we communicate online, and the extension of our network conversation. We have also gathered and discussed other topics outside network meetings, such as boundary management challenges for online students, student experience survey feedback, for example, and choosing architecture designs for student precincts. So with this successful collaboration, we are determined to keep our relationship and staff and students strong and ongoing, accessible to everyone. And it doesn't mean that just because you're from a regional background or a regional sector, you can always come to Zoom and voice that opinion out. All right, on to you, Alice.
Great. So yeah, like Faris said, we do have network meetings and one annual roundtable per year. And right now we've got 4 scheduled for the year, and these are embedded into the calendar at the very start of the year and sent out to all of our members. So it's popped into everyone's calendar very upfront, so we get as much attendance as possible. So during these network meetings, we've talked about certain topics like planetary health, and planetary health is obviously very important, critical subject to discuss, especially in light of COVID and everything that's going on in the world at the moment. And we have our students as partners, members discuss about the practices of sustainability and what could be implemented by the university to improve the global footprint that we make. And it is a initiative at the moment being sponsored by our interim provost and deputy vice chancellor Corinne Reid, who also has a budget for this allocation and this discussion. So we've already seen a rooftop garden go live at one of our main campuses, and that's just one of the initiatives that we've spoken about in the past, and it's come to become a reality. So it's really meaningful. It's a meaningful topic, and the students know that whatever they speak about is actually going to go towards something that's real. So another topic we speak about is the student mental health strategy and our services and advocacy, and what students really need, and what the loopholes in the system where students really provide a bit of feedback about what really needs work and what works at the moment. And we go through a wide range of issues from enrollment, admissions, a graduation and things like that, and all the loopholes and issues within those areas. Moving on, we go on to speak about things like our mental health strategy with our manager of wellbeing services, and this is a great place where we can speak about the counselling services on offer, how available they are to students, and how to tackle issues like targeting culturally diverse cohorts who haven't grown up with these types of services available to them and might not believe in them. And we speak about how this might be a good way of students give feedback about how to tackle these types of issues. There was another really interesting network meeting with a architect from Melbourne Design Inc. about our new student precinct building. So we're thinking of revamping one of our main buildings at our Footscray Park campus. And this was a really fun and engaging meeting where we had butcher paper on all the different walls and different groups. And it was literally a floor plan of each floor of the new precinct, and students would mark where they thought facilities should be. For example, they might want the library in one building, and then they might want the rooftop garden, the VU HQ administration centre, and all the cafes and all the student-led kind of social areas in one building. For instance, like right now, they're kind of scattered all over the place. So things like that. And that was really fun. And a lot of students got a lot out of that and felt like, oh, you know, I want to get involved in more decision-making in terms of the architecture of buildings and things like that. And then, yeah, we recently had a Vice Chancellor strategic planning meeting with our students, and that was an hour and a half long, and we got so much discussion out of that. Our VC is really happy with the outcome of that. Students spoke about lots of different things, ranging from, you know, ATAR requirements to get into a course to placement hours and what should be embedded into course curriculum and things like that. And these are all getting passed down. This feedback's getting passed down to the relevant departments to be, you know, listened to, dealt with, and actioned for later on. So getting involved in decision making. As discussed previously, we spoke about the revamp of Footscray Park and having a student precinct building. We also discussed about our new VU tower. So that's a brand new high-rise building, and it's consolidating all our Flinders Street, King Street, Queen Street campuses all into one. So we were invited specifically to go and have a campus tour of that building and give a bit of feedback about, you know, what's worked, what's good, what can these spaces be used for, and what, from a student perspective, what really needs to be done to make it really worthwhile. Yeah, and then we have other campuses as well, and we have students from all sorts of campuses. So right now our meetings are online. When we do go back on campus, they'll probably be at our main campus at Footscray Park, but we are going to be driving into a hybrid model. So all our meetings that are on campus are going to be also offered online, which is a tricky one, but we're getting there.
Yes, and in getting involved in decision making as well, I just want to share my personal experience, and that the one of the student well-being a senior counselor involved in got me involved as an international student about survey tackling mental health international students are facing. Of course, during COVID-19, it's kind of very heavy for international students, especially with the restrictions of not going back home, and maybe like, you know, having people from their parents, for example, from India, are suffering for the whole COVID situation and everything like that. So I really do appreciate the collaboration within students and staff directly, and that like really strong collaboration via Zoom and how accessible with it. And we know that we have international students who are also overseas right now, so that's where the accessibility also comes in. Now, instead of us talking, I want to show something that is more visual, and you can see our staff members and our student members on this video. Me and Alice and I are very proud of this. We actually are pretty excited to show you guys what students partners at VU have been doing. So this is just a 8-minute video to show an overview of what we have discussed, and instead of it between me and Alice, Alice and I, we're gonna still be in there, but like, you know, we're also gonna be involving with what do you call it, the students and staff members that we have as well. I'm gonna share sound.
Hi, welcome. I'm Naomi Dempsey, Acting Deputy Provost, Academic and Students at Victoria University. Students as partners is really important to us at VU. It is a genuine and authentic way in which our students partner with us for many different decisions, discussions, and learnings. We've learned a lot from students in 2020 about what's important to them, what makes for a great experience, and what's important for the future. Students as partners has been an emerging idea for us in our context over many years, and I would like to genuinely thank all the students over those years that have helped us really bring this to life. And in 2020, we have enjoyed many fantastic Students as Partners network meetings and our first roundtable. This is where we co-create the VU way. And I invite all students at VU to reach out to us and join us as partners. Here's an idea.
Oh, thanks Naomi. After being introduced to students as partners by you, I've been able to work on my leadership skills in the role of a coordinator and deputy chair for the program. I love that I'm able to work on my leadership skills and liaise with both staff and students every single day, but also provide a governance and voice and student body that our student staff can go to and collaborate at any point in time. I have the privilege of organising meetings and speaking on behalf of our members on a regular basis. I'm so glad that we're able to jump online and continue our legacy even in light of the burden of COVID-19. I'm so excited to continue the legacy of students as partners into the coming year and the future. Come join us.
Hey, thanks Alice. The Students as Partners framework at VU is characterised by 8 principles developed by students and staff and captured by the following statements. Number 1, embedded practice in and out of the academic classroom. Authentic partnering is not isolated to select projects or consultations. It's a way of engaging throughout the whole institution and has the practice embedded in all aspects of the business of the university. Number 2, recognition and remuneration. Both students and staff contributions are acknowledged and named, and where possible and applicable, remunerated accordingly. Number 3, community practice. Activities and actions are done in a community approach. Silos are discouraged and multiple perspectives and diversity highly valued. At VU, every student has the opportunity to present their views on issues that affect them. Number 4, a holistic approach to partnership. The concept of partnership is broad and encompassing of multiple levels of knowledge, with the goal of all contributions being valued and critical to success. Number 5, co-creation. The most valuable outcomes are derived from working together to create the future. Number 6, accessible to the VU population. Openness and transparency are the standards for engagement and partnership. Gaining access to students as partners is clear and unambiguous. Number 7, we value successful partnership. Partnership is the key component for success and named and noted as a value and goal for all initiatives. And lastly, number 8, empowering agency and successful outcomes for students. This is the soul and spirit of the VU way and the foundation for the creation of students as partners.
Thanks, Leon. As an international student, I'm glad that I have a chance to be one of the representatives in the Student as Partner program. It made me feel like I'm not just an outsider, but I can also involve in university decisions making to make sure we create an inclusive community and no one's left behind.
Thanks, Nardo. Education is our business, but students sit at the heart of everything we do here at VU, and rightly so. The Students as Partners network is key to bringing this to life and actively including and incorporating the student voice into the design, creation and delivery of key projects ensures that what we're building is fit for purpose, has benefit and impact for our students, and enhances a sense of belonging and community to VU and the west of Melbourne. Including the Students as Partners network in what we do only helps to achieve and uphold our VU values. So we've got nothing to lose.
Thanks, Danielle. Participating in SAP meetings allows me to feel like my voice is heard in the important discussions that surround the student experience at Victoria University. I have been a part of the annual roundtable where I, alongside other students and staff, participated in breakout rooms where we discussed important matters that surround the student experience. I appreciate being a part of this initiative and look forward to the future meetings.
Thank you, Falak. Our university has committed to address planetary health in everything we do, recognising the intersections between human health and the natural environment and the impact of human activity upon the environment, and committing to the well-being of people, of place and of our planet. That's a no-brainer for the student leaders of Students as Partners. Their clear heads, their energy and passion is critical to VU's pledge for planetary health. I'm looking forward to more new ideas and new ways of thinking and organising.
Thanks, Jeannie. Students as Partners has been a great opportunity for me to build my leadership skills. Throughout the time, I've had the chance to facilitate a breakout room on Zoom, and it's been a great opportunity for me to develop my communication skills. Most importantly though, I feel like I am leaving a lasting contribution for future students at VU. Every idea, even this one, is always listened to by the staff involved.
You might be able to use this. So as a staff member working with students as partners, we've learned a lot about what students need, and it's allowed us to talk to students directly where we might not otherwise hear their thoughts or opinions, and it's allowed us to integrate student thoughts and ideas into some of the research that we're doing.
Thank you, Sarah. What is my opinion on SAP? Well, being an international student, I'm glad that my voices are being heard and taken on board as equally as domestic students. Engaging with a discussion that could possibly change the environment of VU is so important, and I am glad to be a part of an initiative that creates a positive impact towards the VU community. As the chairperson of Students Partners, I'd like to invite you, future students and staff members, to come on board and participate in the changes that can be made for a better future. Or use our platform for a collaborative space to discuss important issues that you are facing. I hope to see you in our next meeting soon. Perfect. And that's what our Students Partners members have actually came together and collaborated with. That's I'm really proud of that, and it shows how enthusiastic our students and our staff members have been about this project and how much they have contributed together. In there, you can see the diversity of students that we have on board and how amazing our students have been, and how strength of the voice that they have spoken as well. So now I think we might be over time by 5 minutes. Apologies for the next people there. If you do have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to email us. We're very responsive. We're also really looking forward to any suggestions, comments, questions that you're looking forward to. Do email us or pop into our website, the vu.edu.au Students Partners website, and you can find more information in our newsletter, and you also can see the video as well in there, and our email as well. So that's all for it on our side for Students Partners at Victoria University. On behalf of Alice and I, thank you for joining us. If there's any other questions, please do email us. Thank you so much, guys.